Pro marketers have a trick that keeps them from wasting money on ads that don't work. If you've ever blown a pile of money on new patient advertising that just did not work, you're probably going to get some value out of this video. My name is John Nesbitt. I'm the founder of the Customer Factory, and I'm taking a little excerpt from a book I wrote. Really, it's an executive summary called 16 Rules for Facebook Marketing Success for Chiropractors. As I mentioned, it's an executive summary that's about 20-something pages long that goes over the things you have to know as a practice owner not to get fleeced, not to lose money on your online marketing for new patients, how to do it right, things to avoid, that sort of thing, right? And this one is one of the most important points in the book, that if you get this one right, you can almost work out all the rest all by yourself, okay? So let's go through the typical scenarios. So say you're running an ad on Facebook, right? Say you're running an ad on Facebook for new patients, and you've done the best ad you could. You thought of the pithiest headline, you got a great picture in there, you got some ad copy, you got a good landing page it goes to, on your site over there, like a specialized landing page, as I cover in other chapters and other videos, right? You got all dialed in, and you put your money in, you push the button, and man, it feels like you blink and the money's gone. Like, what the hell happened, right? Depending on your settings, Facebook can go through a lot of money really quickly, right? These online media platforms, I mean, this is how they make their money, is by sucking in the money and doing it, right? And it's okay to spend a lot of money really quickly if you got the result. Like if you did that, and for the 50 bucks or 100 bucks you spent that day, the phone rang, hey, that's great, right? But if you ran, I knew somebody did this, they ran like $1,000 in one day, right? And then the phone rang once, or something like that. It was not a successful test, right? So that's the thing. So I'm going to basically sum up. I mean, how is it that pro marketers get good at this stuff where they can actually get results almost every time, right? And it's a discipline, and it's a trick, and it all sums into one really boring word called testing. Testing. This is where you test one ad against another one, right? You basically testing. It's where you design your ad one way and design it another way, and you run those two suckers together for just a little bit of budget, just a little bit of money, and you find out which one gets the best response, and you go with the one that wins. And you make another one, and you test. Now you have the winner, and now you got to make the one a challenger, and you try to write a better ad than that one, and you go a little different direction, use different headlines, something like that, and it might win or it might lose. And basically, over time, you've got like this kind of survival of the fittest above advertising ads, and you get an ad that works really well, right? When you're doing testing, you want to do just what's called single variant testing, which is fancy words for only change one thing at a time, right? So if you run an ad with, say, this picture, that headline, that ad copy, right? Okay, so just change the headline. Just change that and run it otherwise the same against the original and see if that works better. And what works better, keep the change and go on with it, right? Don't do multivariant testing where you change the picture and the ad and the headline. Oh boy, you change all the ad copy and everything. Then you don't know what worked, right? Now, luckily, Facebook does help you do a version of multivariant testing for free, which is where you put in 5 or 6 or 10 different headlines and 5 or 6 different images, and you can make every variation of the thing yourself right there, and you run it all for a few days, and very quickly Facebook figures out which one's the best one, and you got your top 1, 2, or 3 ads, and those are the ads you should actually put real money behind, right? There's also some really cool software out there that will do the same thing, but they actually put that whole thing on steroids. You can like run hundreds of ads simultaneously with every little change you can possibly think of, and run it all and tell you in about a week what the best ads are, right? Because I'll tell you this, you think you know. Look, I've been in advertising for just decades and decades, right? And I think I can pick out the best ad, and I've learned over time I cannot. I know one thing for sure. I am not the audience for most of the things I sell. I just am not, right? So I have to trust the marketplace to tell me. And that's the only way you actually know for sure, is when you put it there. As they used to say in the packaged goods business way back when, the only way to know if the dog likes the dog food is put the dog food down in front of the dog, right? That's the only way to do it. So you gotta test it, right? So, and by the way, you're not just testing your ads, you also have to test your landing page as well. So once you've got your ads worked out, you're okay, these are my great ads. These get lots of clicks, and these are good stuff. Then you look at your landing page, and you can do split tests on your landing page too, to see which one of these landing pages does it work better to have this color on it? Is it better with my big picture of the doctor up there, or should I use this success story? You can go nuts and change different things on landing pages too. And there's a lot of software out there that'll let you change that so that every other click gets a different landing page version. Basically it helps you do your testing like that, because testing is such a big part. Have you noticed that basically all built into Facebook and all these software things all have testing built into them? That's because the only way, and I'm going to tell you this, the only way you're going to run a successful long-term marketing program is with testing. I mean, you might win the lottery and you might run it without testing. Your first ad was the best ad ever and somehow it was just awesome. But I'll tell you this, if you ran your first ad and it was great and you never had to change again, it was a better ad out there somewhere. You could have improved on it, I guarantee you. But most of the time people try their best shot or has 3 shots, it doesn't work out, and they give up because, well, this doesn't work or something like that. No, it was just a failure in testing. You can even change your ads and landing pages to change the quality, not just the quantity of people coming in. Yeah. Once you start getting to it, you find out there's a lot that you can do with testing. Pretty much there's nothing you can't do with testing. If you do enough proper testing, you will learn almost every lesson you need to learn pretty quickly. But it does take discipline. It takes a routine. It takes a procedure. It takes some patience. You can't, you won't necessarily get the best results in the first month you're doing stuff, right? So you've got to have that in. That's kind of, I mean, if you really don't have the patience to do the testing and keep track of all the records and stuff of it, then you hire someone to do it for you. Okay. I mean, it's the only way. Otherwise you're just wasting money. Okay. So what kind of things should you test? Easy. So in ads, you test your headlines, your ad copy. You test what offer it is. So there's free consultation, but sometimes you have a thing with x-rays, you have a thing without it. You change what the offer is itself. So that they'll change the appearance, right? You use the word laser in there. Do you not? We usually don't mention the treatment. We found adding the word laser does work, right? Different images work different people in the images. I've always used people in the images, right? But sometimes it's different. You can also test which group of people you're targeting on Facebook. So this winning ad went to those people, and went to men, and went to women. Oh boy, women didn't like it, but men did. So okay, we're writing a new ad and try to make the women like the next ad, right? Different call to actions. Click here, learn more. These different ones that are down at the bottom, and also where you run the ads on Facebook. So you can run your ads in the news feed, you can run on the sidebar, you can run on Audience Network, you can run on applications. You can actually break these all up and test. You have your winning ad, now you place it all over the place. You see which one pays off the best. I'll give you a clue. News feeds, if you don't know what I'm talking about, news feed, just do news feed. You'll be better because other ones are a little dodgy, right? Landing pages, you test the headlines there, you test the images there, you test different calls to action there. Is your response form low on the page? Is it high on the page? It makes a difference, right? But I'll tell you this, I guarantee you this, rigorous testing will always beat guesswork. Right? Rigorous testing continuously. Every time your campaign starts to fade, you start adding some new test ads in there. You start adding some new test landing pages in there, and you can bring that sucker back to life, right? But it takes work, it takes discipline, and that's the work of it. I mean, if you got a marketing person, that's what they're supposed to be doing all day, not messing around with graphics or whatever. They're supposed to be testing and noting the results of tests and testing some more and noting the results of tests. And when they have a winner, they're supposed to roll it out and spend some real money on it, right? So you don't waste, don't just blow money on an untested ad. That's pretty dicey. And here's a bonus tip for you, by the way. So Facebook's super easy to test all these. You can run all these ads at the same time. Super easy to test on Facebook, right? Good. So if you're going to run a postcard marketing campaign, why not take the various headlines and put them all into Facebook ads and run those to the same people, right? You're just going to the same people and see whatever your winning Facebook ad is, there's your postcard design. Use that image, use that headline, use that ad copy. You've got to beat. So then when you run the thousands of dollars of the postcards out there, you spent maybe a few $100s on Facebook ads, which got you a result most likely. And it was kind of like an insurance policy on the thousands or tens of thousands of dollars you might spend in some other media, like radio or print, newspaper, that kind of stuff. Okay, so hopefully that was all useful to you. Now, as I mentioned, what I just told you came from my book, 16 Rules for Facebook Marketing Success for Chiropractors. And basically I cover a whole bunch of other topics in that book. I have a way for you to get a copy of that book for free right now. We've got an electronic copy. It's about 20 pages long, this book, and it's an executive summary kind of. It gives you an overview of the entire picture of what it takes to run a successful Facebook marketing company, Facebook marketing campaign for your business, right, for your company. So the idea is that you can take this and it sort of gives you the parameters. It's not every nitty-bitty detail, but it's all the big stuff you have to know, just like what I just told you just now. So hopefully you find that useful, and I will see you in the next chapter. Bye.